Welcome to the Warners Bay High School 50th anniversary of Quality Education for All. May I acknowledge that we meet on the traditional grounds of the Awabakal people and pay my respects to their elders, both past and present, and to our Aboriginal teachers, students, ex-students and family members with us today. May I also acknowledge that Quality Education for All was on this site long before Warners Bay High School started in 1966. Welcome to our special guests, and in particular I can see so many wonderful students, ex-students, parents, teachers, family and friends. Thank you for sharing this day with us. I also welcome our senior executive, Ms Marissa Dalzotto, and Mr Ferner, Mr Jamie Ferner, our Deputy Principals, and our incoming Deputy Principal, Mr Brent Carr. Thank you everyone for sharing this occasion with us. A school can be judged by its academic success, but more importantly by the stamp that it leaves in the hearts of its students, staff and parents. And your attendance today is testimony to that stamp that Warners Bay High School has in your heart. It is a celebration of 50 years of quality education for all, and I'm very proud to be the current principal. I'm very grateful to the outgoing principal, Ms Terry Lee Gordon, for the baton change 11 years ago. The passion, commitment and spirit of the Anniversary Committee is also testament to the place that Warners Bay High School has in the heart and soul of thousands of people who are linked to our school. Today is the celebration. It's a milestone on our journey for the next generation of learners and leaders that they will take forward for us. Today has been made possible by the spirit and the dedication of current staff, students, ex-students, ex-staff and ex-parents and our wonderful supportive community. I would like to take time now to publicly thank the organising committee who put in a phenomenal amount of time and energy under the leadership of Mrs Lynn Sherwood. So Mrs Sherwood, thank you on behalf of our school. On our current staff, we have Mrs Marjorie Drummond, Mr Lee Ford, Mr Chris English, Ms Natalie Fairhall, Mr Ashley Forbes, Ms Leslie Armstrong, Ms Susan Grzewski, Ms Sandra Monk, Ms Nina Parker-Kennedy, Ms Tracy Allen, Mr Brendan McKay, Ms Helen Safaris and Mr Michael Turton, and I thank them too. Of that committee are a number of ex-teachers who've willingly given up many, many hours of their time. So thank you to Barb Silikowski, Mrs Helen Clark, Mr Ken Leslie, Ms Marcia Sims, Ms Wendy Carney, Ms Julie Symes and Mr Frank McDonald. Thank you. We were also very grateful to our ex-students who are also part of our committee, Mr Andrew Robertson, Ms Leslie Germani, Beth Huxley, and Ms Janelle Lawrence. Thank you to those who have. I'm also very grateful to our current captains and school leaders, Lloyd James and Samantha Hallett, and to our student leaders that are with us today. And also our hospitality students, well led by Mrs Allen. But alongside our students and staff and ex-staff and parents, we have had an outdoor committee who have worked tirelessly from the thought bubble, oh, hey, wouldn't it be really good here, to it actually has all happened. So, led well by our Michael Turton, who's our site manager. Thank you, Michael. Also assisted by our General Assistant, who isn't here with us today, but Chris Gill, but also our gardener, Dennis Mahoney, who is responsible for the sandstone pavers. Every time I go to Sydney and I drive past Knox Grammar, I think I want some of that sandstone. So this is what we got, and I didn't take it. I couldn't carry it. So thank you, Dennis, for the pavers, for the gardens, and all of the work that you've done here. We also have, of course, other people working on our ovals and in our gardens. So thank you to Brian Latham, an ex-parent and still a current contributor to our school. Thank you, Brian. And last but not least, I'd like to publicly thank two people who have been responsible, firstly, for our mosaic, and that's Leslie Armstrong. Thank you, Leslie. On a number of pieces around A block and out the front and over there, so we really value your expertise. Thank you. And last but not least, our fountain. Now, a little story, and Paul is going to talk with you in a moment, Paul Brent. But just a little story. When I've been here 11 years, and you never change uniforms unless you want 1,000 ministerial. You actually modernise. And so when we modernised our uniform, a number of people said, but what about the crest? It looks a bit old. And I said, I'm not even brave enough to change that. So let's just modernise. And so we had a bit of a chat with the visual arts or the Kappa faculty, and I'm very grateful. This is Donna Fister's work, and Donna Fister's, who's the head teacher Kappa, and her design now features as our logo alongside our crest. So thank you, Donna, for your time. But then as we were talking about sandstone and all sorts of things and how we wanted this to look, I'm very grateful to Brendan McKay, who's one of our PAS teachers, Technology and Applied Studies, and Brendan said, you know, I think we could do this in stainless steel, and I think I know someone that can do it. So thank you, Brendan. And I just want to invite Paul up for a moment to talk a little bit so that when you see this and when all the young kids here today, when you come to Warners Bay High School, you'll say, you know, I know a little bit about this, because that's how history travels. It travels from the information and it stays with you. So, Paul, a little bit from your perspective.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the school for the opportunity to put a major work in, and especially Brendan for offering and having faith in me that I could put it together, and also Sharon for okaying it. And so it sort of came from that about 3 months ago and up to this stage. So it was all about community, about the manufacturing community, and how it's basically put it together for the school community, and the fact that we had a scope of sales and orders. So I threw an extra bit of emotion in there as well, but that's yet to be discovered. So but it was all about the community of Warners Bay in the industrial side. Made a stone's throw away over the creek in the Water Street complex, where a lot of parts that are on there, it's about 75% recycled. The domes from Town Manufacturing drops down. Thank you very much for letting me steal all the bits and pieces off there out of the scrap bin. But they are a top line company that make the best recompression chambers in the world, and these are just basic pieces that have been discarded. The pollen comes from the food processing plant, which has got another point to it that cuts terrain. The base is from a 1994 compression chamber that went into the Australian Navy, but there's a lot to it with